Say goodbye to Exodia!
Man, I'm glad they made these cards waterproof. Oh snap! Exodia pieces! Welcome to another entry from the Omni-Bestiary. So, here's a little known fact about me. Not only am I a zoologist, I am also an experienced duelist. Though if you're a close friend of mine, see my posts about the game or watch some of the collab videos I've done, this likely isn't much of a surprise. But whilst Duel Monsters is a game of strategy, cunning, and the occasional bit of depravity in our modern age, in ancient times, it was wielded as a conduit by bygone civilizations to call upon forces that lurk in dimensions beyond our own. And although you may be familiar with the more famous creatures summoned by legendary duelists, like your blue-eyes white dragons and your Karibos, today, I wanted to discuss another almighty beast that's made a notable impact on the game. The great and powerful Purrely. Purrely start life as small feline or canine-esque animals that grow to around 30 to 40 centimeters tall and cap out at a weight of 3 kilograms. They possess a thick coat of fur, prominently around the throat, that is known to come in multiple color variations. Accompanying this is a large bushy tail and a large set of ears, suited for picking up faint distant sounds, though in some specimens, they're born without sufficient cartilage to keep them upright, which is a common genetic trait in animals like lop-eared rabbits. They also have a pair of angelic wings, and while they are capable of flight, the exact limits of this ability are untested. Wild Purrelys are often seen roaming around city streets in the world, where they try to court favor with humans with their cute appearance and friendly demeanor, in the hopes that they will adopt them into their homes and raise them as their loving pet. This is, of course, indicative behavior that Purrelys are domestic animals, or creatures that are bred or raised specifically for human use, like for livestock, hunting, or, in this case, companionship. Archaeological history suggests that the origins of domestic pets occurred approximately 23,000 years ago in what would become modern-day Siberia, when gray wolves would wander into human encampments and feast on any leftovers they had on hand. The wolves, now developing a sense of trust toward those who permitted their presence, began to follow them as they hunted for survival. Over time, the wolves would live alongside the humans and even start to assist in their hunts. And thus, as human civilizations developed, they started to train and breed these animals to emphasize traits or behaviors that would be conducive for cooperating with them as hunting partners, giving rise to what would become the modern dog. And as the stresses of food and resource scarcity gradually dwindled, they started domesticating more and more different kinds of animals as pets. However, they had also begun selectively breeding traits of them that had less of the animal's natural qualities in mind, and were more focused on decoration. Which becomes a problem when misinformed pet owners decide to release their animal out into the wild when they could no longer care for it or believe it will be in their best well-being. The issue here is that after years of breeding, these animals have no longer become fit for life in the wilderness, and are likely to face threats from unfamiliar environments or predators that they're incapable of effectively combating. In fact, in several cases, the super cute, heavily exaggerated, and quite frankly, unnatural physical traits that have been bred into them are known to cause long-term health problems that will further hinder the animal's survival. This trait's innate lack of fear toward humans can also be a risk, as they could spread diseases they have contracted, or come across a human with a rather vile disposition. So remember that the safest and only place your pet should be is in your home. And if you do ever decide to adopt a stray domestic animal, and I should reiterate, a domestic animal, like a dog or a cat, not a wild fox or raccoon or something. It'll tear apart your home, put you and your loved ones in danger, stress out the critter and give it health problems, potentially give you rabies. I don't care how cute it looks or how many cutesy videos you've been watching. That is a wild creature and it needs to stay in the wilderness for both you and the animal's well-being. As I was saying, if you do decide to adopt a stray domestic animal, like with Purrely, make sure you exercise caution so it doesn't injure you or spread any diseases, and take it to a local animal shelter so you may receive guidance on how to proceed with caring for it. You think someone ever tried to make Sphinx Purrely? As they are, Purrelys are ill-suited for combat in Duel Monsters. However, the special thing about them is that as they grow and bond with their owner, they develop stronger forms with unique appearances and powers, depending on the way it was raised. This is expressed in the game through the Xyz summon mechanic, which reportedly summons monsters made of antimatter? That doesn't sound right. I Xyz summon Baby Tyragon. Oh shit! A Purrely who has spent much of his time playing around with his owner becomes a Purrely Happiness, who loves going all out in battle. One who's been resting peacefully unlocks the board-breaking Purrely Noir. A Purrely that's been meticulously cleaned manifests the ice-cold Purrely Beauty, with the power to freeze your opponent's abilities. And permitting it to overindulge at banquets creates the all-consuming Purrely Plump. Here's your reminder to watch your pet's weights. Pet obesity is widely known to shorten their lifespan and burden them with conditions like arthritis. Though this doesn't really stop duelists from summoning this thing. This one is known for getting high attack boost the more cards it eats. Does getting fatter make you more powerful in this game? I said that out loud, didn't I? This, however, is not the limit to Purrely's potential. A Purrely that has lived a long life filled with fond memories alongside its owner will eventually grow into its most powerful form, the X-Purrely, a majestic, multi-winged beast that is large enough to carry children on their back. Other possible forms, only two are known to us. X-Purrely Happiness, who takes delight in overwhelming his opponent with a relentless assault, and the nigh-invincible X-Purrely Noir. Oh, come on! The Purrelys seem to gain more power the happier they are, and while there is no truly scientifically quantifiable method to gauge how happy an animal is, can't really ask them how they're feeling, there has been significant study into how the company of a pet improves the well-being of the owner. Pet owners who were surveyed in these studies report that, overall, they felt less depressed, had a higher sense of self-esteem, and were more social compared to those who didn't spend their time around them. They also stated that they felt less stressed, and felt more physically active via giving them walks and playing with them. Furthermore, a life spent surrounded around pets is known to reinforce support for animal welfare causes and need to keep animals safe. Except when it manifests as negative behaviors like animal hoarding, but that whole kind of thing depends on people's psychological background. And while I did say there's no clear way to scientifically determine an animal's happiness, it is still fully possible to enrich their lives with access to healthy, well-proportioned food, consistent healthcare, and toys or forms of enrichment to help them exercise the natural behaviors. And by being a responsible pet owner, you can create an environment where it can live its life to its full potential, much like Purrely with 10 overlay units. And then Purrely hops in a giant robot and eradicates everything!
This is a non sequitur.
While we were discussing an animal from this game, I thought it would be a great opportunity to discuss the biology of other popular monsters that I wouldn't likely be able to do a full episode on. Firstly, Miscellaneousaurus. This fossilized dinosaur monster is a hodgepodge of various anatomical pieces found on other prehistoric creatures. This cornerstone of dino-based strategy serves as a reminder of a rather comical period in early paleontological history, where scientists, on account of the lack of data back then, or a hasty desire to accrue some fame and fortune, wound up creating skeletal structures that were either incomplete, incorrect, or a mixture of different animals put together. Some of my personal favorites include these iguanodons with their thumb bones serving as horns, this Elastosaurus with his head on his tail, and oh, wow. Next up is Traptrix Rafflesia. The Traptrix line monsters, much like the counterparts of this world such as purse-web spiders, antlions, and pitcher plants, are a series of carnivorous plants and arthropods who, as their name implies, prefer to lure their prey toward them and catch them in a trap, rather than expend energy chasing them around. Though for them, it's primarily through taking the form of young girls of questionable age. Ugh. One of their most iconic members, Rafflesia, is based off the plant of the same name, a gargantuan rainforest flower that is incapable of growing its own greenery for photosynthesis, so it instead steals energy from other plants by burrowing their roots in them as a parasite. Parasite? Parasite. The Rafflesia is also known to attract corpse-eating flies for pollination by expelling an absolutely repugnant stench, which regardless still smells better than the people typically associate with running the stick. Lastly, I have one of my personal go-to cards, Jellyfish. In the incomprehensible convoluted mess that is the Duelist Kingdom rule set, this colossal Nidarian had the power to absorb and nullify electric attacks, a clear reference to how jellyfish tentacles zap anything they get a hold of. Which isn't how they actually work! Jellyfish are incapable of shocking people with electric shocks. That pain you're feeling really comes from specialized structures on their tentacles called nematocysts that can shoot a barb into their target's body and inject a toxin, with the intention of parrying their prey long enough for the jelly to immobilize and consume them. Depending on the species, the effects of jellyfish toxins on humans range from mildly annoying to absolutely lethal. And with a creature like jellyfish, you could imagine how damaging a sting from it would be.
This has been a non-sequitur.
Alright, Cognathos. It's time to see which of us is the true card shark. As you wish, Meatbag. I know that you're no match for the hyper-advanced strategies my mechanical mind have cooked up. Well, I hope you're ready to put your money where your mouth is then. And don't forget, the power of my Millennium Air Fryer that I won from a tournament at my locals shall take this duel to the perils of the Shadow Realm. For now, each time we lose life points, this non-vomiting horse will straight up kick us in the groin. I am concerned as to why I needed to specify that is a non-vomiting horse. But bring it on! The first turn is mine. I summon Cyber Dragon Core, and I activate its effect. Imperm. You pass. My turn. First, I summon my right-hand shark in attack mode. Shark? I thought you were running Purrely. Wait for it. I activate my right-hand shark's special ability to add a left-hand shark to my hand. Next, I'll play this, my Purrely Delicious Memory. In addition to protecting my shark from attacks, this card lets me summon Purrely from my deck, at the cost of discarding a card from my hand. Come here, Purrely! Lee. This monster fetches me my friend Purrely. Then with my pet's power, she shall draw upon her memories and bring forth a Purrely plump. Don't forget about my left-hand shark though, for now I can use its effect. While right-hand shark is on the field, I can revive left-hand and boost it to level 4. With my 2 level 4 sharks, I fill the overlay network and summon Bahamut Shark!
Did you seriously mix Purrelys and sharks?
You bet I did! I have merged the powers of Purrely and Blowhigh to create an unstoppable force of destruction! No force in the universe can compare to this! Anyway, I detach one from Bahamut, so it's totally awesome. Activate my friend, pay 500, randomly get a memory card, activate sleeping memory, discard random card, attach a plump, summon Purrely, plump's effect goes off, banshee core, activate Purrely effect, excavate 3.
Perhaps I overcooked with the strategy.
Can't do anything else from here. Alright, attack. Anyway, I set 1 at the end of my turn. Oh, my tenders are ready.